Hi, my name is Cam, and this is my one credit clear of the game Thunder Force 4 for Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. It's also referred to as Lightning Force in North America. It's a shoot 'em up on the Genesis that consists of 10 stages, and it's by far one of my favorite shoot 'em ups I've ever played. It's also my first horizontal shoot 'em up I've ever cleared, and the music, the backgrounds, everything in this game is, it's awesome. I love it. It kind of functions similar to something like Mega Man, where you can actually pick the first 4 stages you want to play in. I prefer to play in this like Mad Max stage first, because the boss is pretty hard if you don't have Blade. So it allows me to reset if I don't if I get hit or something. What's also interesting about this game too is it actually has you can actually select the speed of your ship. It's not too useful. Blue balls in the Mad Max dude. So yeah, you can actually select the speed of your ship using, I believe it's the A button, and you can select the speed you want it to be at, which is actually a pretty interesting idea. Usually most games, like Toho for instance, it's like a focus mode or something like that. So it's pretty interesting that this game does that. But yeah, this is my first horizontal shmup clear, and I really had a blast with it. It's a very good stage. It's a good stage, and it's a good game as well. Outside of maybe one or 2 stages in the final area. And the music is definitely top notch. I mean, Technosoft really is a good developer, for the Thunder Force series, and for something like I believe it's Devil's Crush pinball game. But yeah, I tend to do this stage first just because this boss is really hard if you don't have Blade, which is just an upgrade to a regular twin shot. And Blade's pretty good. The only issue you might have with it is that the hitbox might be too big. That can cause some issues, but overall it's not too bad. I really like the detail they put into a lot of these backgrounds. Like, I didn't even notice for the longest time that there was actually like a castle in the background. I think that's so cool to me, that the game does that. I would also say this game's pretty generous with its 1-ups. They're actually pretty consistently. There's like a 1-up per stage usually. There's a lot of shields you get, and it's very generous with its stuff. Although it is a dash shmup, and there's a lot of either bosses that take a long time, like this boss takes a long time, or there's a lot of bullshit from behind. But other than that, it's a pretty solid game. No real issues there. I think I actually died twice to this boss, which is, I'm surprised that I didn't reset at all. Because usually I would have, but I think I was just like, I really wanted to get this done and over with. I'll take it. See what we can run with this run. Now, I actually got a score extend there, which is, I believe I got 2 score extends, maybe 3 there are. And that's actually it, so there's no more score extends you can get in the game. It's limited by the first 3 you get. So, you really gotta make those count where you can. I believe this is like a hangar stage. I'm not sure. It's like, I kind of like getting this stage out. But I guess when this section opens up, I wanna be shooting back like Basically, just go to freeway or shoot backwards. Yeah, freeway is definitely, in my opinion, the third best weapon in this game. Arguably the second best. It's a very, very good weapon in my opinion. Basically, it's one of the only weapons that allow you to shoot like up and down at the same time. And not many weapons can really do that besides Snake. The Snake is kind of like a poor man's freeway in a sense. You get a lot more control when it comes to freeway. And I like doing this stage early on because, you know, it's another stage where there's a lot of resets can happen. It's a pretty tough stage overall too. Comparatively to like the other stages like Ruins or like the water stage. But they really they made sure to keep their backgrounds nice and good. Like I really like with the parallax scrolling in the back, it's really nice. It's aged really well. Really, like I have my shit with her. We noted. Now in this section, I actually like doing, I like going to 100% because it's kind of like, it's a really fast section. So there are good uses for it. I mean, they're not, it's like few and far between, but, you know, there is good uses for it. That 1-up's pretty hard to get as well, but you can do it. Now those bosses are pretty easy for the most part. You kind of want to bring ray gun into this, or railgun. I always think it's ray gun by the announcer in this game, so you get behind pretty easily. Although Blade's also good here, I think, just because of the amount of damage you do. I would say the only downside of this game I think there is that a lot of the bosses take way too long. Like this boss particularly is a boss that takes, you know, I feel like too much time. Like I definitely could have. Maybe not half the health, but like, you know, just a little bit less, you know, I feel it could have been better for pacing, but overall, it's not too bad. Especially because later you get, when you get like the Thunder Force, like, it really like starts to pick up speed. But yeah, for 92, this game's definitely hold up very well. It's a very good game. In my opinion, definitely my top 5 shmups. And that's stage 2. Hey, Deathless. Oh, that's good. Or No Miss, as the colloquial known term. And this is the Ruin stage. I really like these like lightning bottle enemies. I think they're pretty interesting. Like you shoot them, they start like spitting out their like electronic circuits or something. These enemies are kind of interesting. You have to like hit them from behind. That's the only way to kill them. At least that's what I think. It's the only way I've killed them before. Before I got Blade back. Well, unless you count shield, but I don't count shields. Almost. I think I was talking about how like no miss. It's not like you take out a life off. It's just how like a no miss would be considered a like if like you get hit by your shield, does that count as a no miss? I'm not sure. I would imagine it wouldn't be because, you know, you're not losing a life, but I don't know. Now, there's one last weapon that we haven't seen yet, and that would be the Hunter. In my opinion, it's the worst weapon in the game. Because minimal damage, you really, like, aiming isn't too bad in this game. It's not like Asteroids or something, or like Space Invaders where like aim is like really important. So you don't really need it, but there is some good use for it, especially in the final stage, to have Hunter. There might be some other cheese strats you can do with it, but for the most part, like twin shot, blade, you know, railgun, or like freeway, that's all you really need. Now with this boss, you have to kind of like hit its two arms, so I like to bring it upward because when you hit the top one, it kind of goes like down towards the ground, so you have to like, you know, drag it upward a little bit. That's just what I do. Yeah, the only other real negatives I could think about this game is just there's a lot of like definitely like inconsistent slowdown, like when there's a lot of stuff on screen, like, but it is to be expected, especially for a game of this age. But it's really not that bad, and there is, of course, some sprite flicker as well, so I can say that. Oh, that's the. Alright, good ruins. Really good ruins. Time for the, well, technically it's the first stage, but we're doing it last. The, kind of Bob Ross stage, I like to call it. Thank you for the encouragement, Tristan. Really, this is like probably the most beautiful background in the game. A really good first stage, in my opinion. It really teaches the basics and kind of what the game expects of you and stuff, and it's a pretty good first stage. I also like how this game kind of like, there's a lot of shmups where like they'll like make it so you'll have to like stay basically in the back like 25% of the screen, but like in this game it kind of makes you want to like move around a lot, you know. Which I think is really good. And it doesn't really have like that sort of like Gradius syndrome. Like I feel like every boss outside of one in the desert area is pretty balanced for just the regular twin shot. So there's no like Gradius syndrome sort of dealio going on here. You can perfectly, you don't have to actually use Blade to beat the game, although I think it makes it a little easier. Be sure also to get this one up right there. It's a little easy to miss. And this is a giant ship. Yeah, I think this game is really cool how it like kind of brings you into the water, you know, to fight this like submarine type ship, and then it starts flying up. It's just. But yeah, if you miss your claw, you can get it there too. I think it's a pretty good idea. There's a lot of like little hidden stuff like that in the game, which I think is cool. section's kind of a little annoying. It kind of drags on a little too much, but you know, it's fine. You just gotta go underneath this like claw thing, wait for it to shoot out, but otherwise it's pretty easy. I think outside of Sonic, this would be like my first Genesis game I've ever beat. I don't think I've ever beat a Genesis game. Yeah, I think outside of Sonic, this would be my first ever Genesis game I ever, like, I guess, cleared or 1cc'd. I feel like everyone's, you know, kind of done Sonic. Yeah, this is a boss where, like, it's actually somewhat not a good idea to use Blade. Basically, the hitbox for this boss is kind of a little orb near, like, under its belly, and since the hitbox of Blade is so big, it might clip the top of it, so you'll have to, like, I don't know, it's harder to aim, that's for sure. I probably should just switch to freeway sooner in this fight, because it doesn't usually take this long. And yeah, he shoots out this orb halfway through the fight. The hardest part of this boss, though, is definitely the like the water things he shoots out of his mouth. It's the first beginner's trap you'll have in this game.
Yeah, I swear it's because of the big hitbox on Blade. This takes forever.
Yeah. Okay, like I said. Yeah, I think after this I'll have to check out Thunder Force 3 as well. I know I went with 4 first, but I really wanted to play this because this is like everyone's recommended shmup on Genesis. But 3 I also heard is really good. So I'll definitely check that out after this. I'm not sure what other shmups I'll play. There's definitely a lot I have on my bucket list. Like R-Type is a good example. Life Force or Salamander was also something I wanted to get through. Yeah, I think I just tried to stitch the snake there just to get the straight shot. Finally. I think this is stage 5? Yeah, it should be stage 5. These enemies, yeah, like, really gotta kite these guys out. It's not recommended to micro dodge these. It's really just dodge it fully.
Oh, I can get it back though. This stage.
Here, you destroy that ship that you saw in the first stage. I really like the mid-bosses in this game too. They're really cool. They kind of went all out with these. And there's the shield. Here's a good example of Freeway just being really, really good. It's a really good weapon here. I think there's a stage kind of like an R-Type that's like this, where you're like shooting at a ship that's like firing out stuff. Maybe R-Type 2 has it, I'm not sure. You actually get your buddies to help you out here. I guess it's like a army or something. Make sure also hit for that one up there. You actually have to hit it in order to unlock it.
I got hit there. Okay, the next shield spot is actually really close in the next stage, so should be okay.
This kind of reminds me of like Sonic, where like animals will like follow you or something. Like your ships are kind of like following you and helping. Now to get the upgrade for the Thunder Force. Oh, this is stage 6, right? This is the ice stage. I generally recommend using freeway here. I think it's like the perfect stage for freeway because there's a lot of stuff from behind, front, above, below. It's just a really good to get it. And actually give you a fair amount of resources in stage 2. So how the Thunder Force works is basically when you don't shoot for a while, the beam itself will like charge up, and the longer you let it charge, the longer the beam will be. It does massive damage if you can hold onto it. It shreds a lot of bosses, so it's a really good idea to try and not get hit. Use your shields when you can, because boy, you'll definitely need it. And here, if you head into this little gap area, you can refill your shield, which is a really good idea.
Because that guy exploded on me.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite stages. Background's kind of it's just a dark sea, but you know, it's a good stage.
I got hit there, okay.
Here's an example. I'll actually switch to 25% speed just to get that one up there. Although I can't see any other reason to do that besides in that stage. Now, I didn't know this, but if you actually keep killing this guy, he dies for good. So it's a good idea if you want to like get rid of this guy because he's really annoying.
I didn't know you could kill that thing.
Yeah, it makes that part a lot harder than it needs to be.
Oh.
Alright, time for the boss. This is like example of a boss which will get absolutely shredded from the Thunder Force. I usually have to go through at least 2 cycles, but with this, it's not nearly as bad. Boom, that's the boss. Got melted.
Easy. Okay, I'll find a place safe until you get the shield.
Now, stage 7, I think, is when the game officially starts to get pretty hard. Like, if you were playing this game casually, I think this is when a lot of people will get stuck. Just continue far, like, using our continues. I think that was a shield drop I missed, but because these things kind of like lure onto you, and the only way to actually get rid of them is to like hit walls, I think, you have to do. And that will slowly get rid of them. Which is actually a really interesting concept. But yeah, this level actually gives you 2 shields, which is pretty good. These bubbles kind of remind me of, I think was it Gradius? I think Gradius or Proteus have those like little bubble things. This mid boss is kind of tough if you don't have Thunder Force to get rid of him, or if you just miss it like I did. Yeah, I think I lost, lost my thing there. Now, with this boss, you have to, like, this is a pretty good area, I think, for having, the snake weapon, because there's these little turrets that like kind of like cling to the top and they'll start shooting at you, and snake just gets rid of them. So it's a pretty good idea. I got really greedy there and just tried to use my Thunder Force, but it didn't work out. So yeah, this boss is pretty tough overall. A lot of RNG stuff, and he's pretty he has a lot of irregular movements to deal with. The worst attack I think he has is like these fireballs that spit out, and they like sometimes they'll target you, and it's really hard to react to it. Yeah, like, that was a 3-shot, but yeah. Okay. And time for stage 8. By far, stage 8 is, in my opinion, the hardest stage in the game. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the hardest stage. At least the one that I struggle the most with. That's for sure. It's kind of like a gauntlet of like 4 bosses you have to go through, and the last boss is pretty tough to deal with. So, or like 3 mini bosses and the last boss or something. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to deal with. Now, usually this thing is really easy, but I just have a skill issue today, and I got hit by it. Usually that means this will be GG, because the next boss is really hard without Blade.
Oh no, dude,
yeah, I got hit twice there. But yeah, doing this without getting hit is, and without Blade is pretty tough. Luckily though, they gave you a shield right here. And Hunter, but you know, I don't really need Hunter. But yeah, this guy's pretty tough. You basically kind of need shield here. I always like when like a mini boss or boss is kind of like similar size to you, like it's like another ship that's fighting you, you know? I always like think it's pretty cool. But generally, I like to like avoid being at like eye level with him, in case he shoots out that laser attack he does. Either like a little higher above him or below him. Yeah, this is a pretty tough boss.
I can still do it.
Yeah, but this is definitely...
I really don't want to die here.
This is a very hard,
Like, if I get through this deathless, then I should be okay. You could be in a good pattern.
Yeah, this guy is definitely really tough. You really have to watch out for when he switches sides like that, and make sure not to bait his, like, his line of his, like, his little tail thing. As you can see, it's kind of like a gauntlet of bosses, you know, so you really gotta save your resources for this stage. It would be interesting trying to score this game, although I don't know what the, apparently you get like a no-miss bonus, so I'm wondering how much the no-miss bonus actually is. That'd be a pretty tough challenge to do, for sure. You really have to optimize your shield usage. So, if that bonus is big enough, then that might be the way to score this game. Otherwise, obviously, just try to kill as much stuff as you can.
So far?
Pretty ironic too, because this music is amazing for this stage. But as far as gameplay goes, it's definitely nothing one of the worst. But it's still not bad. It's like a junkyard. Now this boss, this is a pretty tough boss. It took me a lot of practice to figure it out. But the first part is you just destroy these arms, which if you got the Thunder Force, you can actually just instantly get rid of it. Depends on your range though, and how close you are to it. Those little fly things, they're actually pretty interesting. They don't like, they don't kill you if you touch them.
Oh, dude, come on, really?
But essentially, they'll like, when they touch the ground, they'll shoot upwards, like just like air, and it'll push you to the top of the screen, so you really gotta watch out. Next phase, you kind of have to like shoot this thing. I think it's when you do enough damage to it, it will like go to the next phase. You gotta watch out there though. Yeah, usually you want to, like, if you have Blade here, for instance, you can, like, one-cycle this boss without it, like, doing a thing. Like, going upward.
Yeah, it's doable.
And then this bee comes. This is also kind of like a hard stage. You kind of have to, like, maneuver around the bee while also doing damage, and they, like, has those little booger things that come down. And they also do the same thing where they'll push you upward. So it's best to dodge those as well. And this is the last phase. It's pretty easy though. Where it kind of shoots out these things like Gradius style, and then it dies. Okay,
Stage 9.
This is stage 9. This is by far my my favorite stage in the game. I really like it a lot. Just graphically, I think it's pretty cool. The music's good. And the gameplay is really top notch here. Still a tough stage, but you know, it's good, it's really balanced. And they also give you a lot of lives in the stage. And shields. That's good.
I got hit by that.
But yeah, it's really a lot of the stages just keeping up your shield, you know, and just a little light memo, like these little missiles that shoot out, you know. So it's best to if you don't care about killing them, of course, you shoot the missiles that come. These things sound like fish or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, here's also a good idea to use the Thunder Force. Makes this boss really, really fast. Like boom, 2 hits of Thunder Force and it's gone.
That easy.
Now, this is actually the only moment in the game where there's like a large amount of downtime, like you're not doing anything. It's the only section like that, which I think is pretty weird. Maybe they thought that that boss was gonna take a lot longer or something. Maybe that's why. Oh, grabby thing though. It's the only time you see it in the game, which is pretty weird. But yeah, make sure to get that one up. You'll probably need it too. It's really easy to get. These little door things too, I think, are pretty cool. We shoot them and they open up. And if you also lost your claw, you can go down there and get it. So it's a good idea to do that as well. I also like making sure to use to keep shooting in that area, because if you don't, you might accidentally use a Thunder Force, and since it has a little knockback to it, you might accidentally die. But here in this section, though, you really don't want to shoot anything, because these little meteor things, they kind of magnet towards you. So it's best to just kind of micro dodge them. I got hit there, but usually, you know, if you're playing well, you won't. I also prefer to go the top row here, because you get a 1-up here. Now, I used to think that on the bar mat you got a shield, but last run I did, I only got a claw there, so I decided just to get the 1-up top route. Although I might be wrong about that.
Okay. Dude, Deathless stage 9 boss should be there, so.
Now this music's pretty crazy. I'm not sure why they did it. This boss is pretty nuts too. It's like a crab with chicken hands or something, like the head of a chicken for its hands. It's really weird. But yeah, the first part, you know, you shoot the back of it. Now with this boss, sometimes like the hitbox for these little like worm things that come out, like they're kind of like really small, or like it's only when they're shooting, so it's best to like, I'm not sure, but it's definitely you have to take ray gun in there. Now a lot of this boss is basically just kiting it, this like crab boss thing. Bring it down here, and then we'll do this like laser attack. Yeah, you'll never know that's coming unless you've been here before, so... Which obviously I have. But yeah, definitely a really strange boss. I don't really know why it's like this, but hey, it's a cool boss. It's one of my favorites in the game. And as soon as one head dies, the other head will kind of target you with this like little like wraparound thing. And you gotta make sure you run away from that thing too.
Okay, really good stage 9.
Yeah, it's stage 9. Final stage, and here it starts to give you off more weapon upgrades and the claw, which is pretty cool. And you also get to meet the thing that you fought back in stage 5, which is pretty cool. There's definitely a lot of things where it's like you have to know things are coming. Like I have to know that when that thing ducks down, to go upward or down, to dodge it. So it really helps, you know, coming to stage a lot for practice. But the final boss, in my opinion, is actually pretty easy to deal with. Yeah, like here I like to go at 100%. Just to get the faster speed. But yeah, what's interesting too is when they're doing this section, you can actually farm a lot of lives, I think, here. Because he will keep giving you shields and keep giving you 1-ups, I believe, so...
Okay, let's do this.
Time for the final boss. Just for Charons have to give you a 1-up. Very nice. Now, I think aesthetically, the final boss is pretty cool. And the music's really good too. Which is kind of easy though, which is the only thing, but it is the end of the game. Just wish it was a little bit harder, that's all. It's still a good boss. Right here, I like to use Hunter just to target down his little eyeball.
Boom. Let's go. It's at 12 hours. It's done.
That's the game.
Let's go. Oh, god damn it, dude. GG. Yeah, that feels good, dude.
So the rest of this video is just the credits for the game, but I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll let this play out. But yeah, I like to stream, you know, hard games, you know, arcade clears and achievement hunting. So if that's kind of your style, then please check out my Twitch in the description. Anyways, thank you for watching.
What a great fucking game, dude.
What a great game. I agree.
I mean, it really is a 10 out of 10 Genesis game. Great soundtrack, great gameplay. Fucking, it rocks.
Booby Master? Is that what that says? Booby Master? Really? No remorse? Dude, what are these names, dude? My Home Papa. I wonder what was harder, Battletoads or this? Probably Battletoads. Battletoads took a lot longer. The final score. $3 million, 3.6.